Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be showing you guys what it would look like to buy, own, and drive the train in Grand Theft Auto Online. So you might be asking yourself, why am I talking about this? Well, with the recent announcement of Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out on October 26, 2018, and what Rockstar did in the Doomsday Heist update, adding the Red Dead Redemption 2 treasure hunt, there's been rumors that Rockstar is going to do an update that specifically is designed to promote Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, granted, it will still be amongst the theme of what we'd likely see in Los Santos and in Grand Theft Auto Online, but there would be elements of it, like the treasure hunt, that would promote RDR2. Now, FunMW2, one of the most reputable sources of information in the GTA 5 community, has said that it could be possible for Rockstar to do something with the train, making it either drivable by the players or a property. So in Red Dead Redemption 2, the trains are going to be both. You're going to be able to drive them, but also interact inside of them, sort of like its own little living quarters. So I got curious to see how something like that would work in GTA 5, and I found this amazing mod, which I'll leave a link to in the description. So what this mod does is it actually allows our character to become the driver of the train, which is incredibly cool. Now, we're allowed to do this in one single player mission, but it's very limited. This mod is not limited at all. It allows you to do so much stuff, which is really cool. It basically allows you to become a railroad engineer. So just a couple of things it allows you to do. You can drive the train. It gives you easy access with a realistic entrance. It gives you realistic accelerating and braking, open and closing the doors, changing the radio, changing the seat. It gives you commands, which you can actually do inside, which is really cool. It displays speed in miles per hour and kilometers. And it's super easy to do. You can turn on the horn. You can activate the headlights. Like, you literally become, the pilot of the train. I don't know what the driver of the train's official name is, but you literally get to become that. And this is my first run right here. What you're seeing is happening. And on this first run, I'm trying to figure out the controls. And during this, I didn't know what the red bar at the top was. And as you'll find out in a second, that's how close your train is to derailing. So I did not know that was the case. I thought the red bar was maybe you're doing too much throttle or something like that. But you can see I'm going around this bend here, and I end up reaching 87 miles per hour. And apparently that was way too much for this bend, and we end up completely derailing. So I had no idea this is something you could do with this mod. You could actually derail the train. Now I know why the train goes so slow, and probably why you're not supposed to drive trains this fast, because with all that cargo in the back, you cannot go around turns 84 miles an hour. You are going to derail. So I thought that was incredibly realistic, very, very funny, and I think that was awesome. That was so cool to do. Even though I only made it about 2 or 3 minutes before derailing, it was actually really fun driving this thing. Now, this is not the only train it works on. It also works on the tram, which can actually be found inside Los Santos. So this is kind of the one that rides on the rail carts. It's white and it's red. And I was way overconfident with this tram's ability to go very fast. So I ended up grabbing the controls, and we were going 38 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour around our first turn when we got inside the tunnel, and we ended up crashing. So this one is a whole lot more sensitive than the one that wraps around the entire map, and the one that's predominantly in sandy shores and areas like that. So we ended up crashing, or I should say I ended up crashing that one very easily. But I wanted to give it another try, which is pretty cool. And the unique thing about this one is there's passengers on the inside, which is kind of cool. Now, they're scared to death, obviously, like they should be if some random stranger took control of their train. But it's pretty cool because there's stops for this one all across the map that you can stop at. And I wanted to push the limits of this, see how fast I could actually go. And this one is very sensitive. We got to about 42 miles per hour before we ended up crashing, and I ended up running it off the rails. So that one isn't as fun as doing the actual train in Los Santos. But now let's talk about how this thing would work in Grand Theft Auto Online. So obviously, Rockstar would make us buy the train in some way, shape, or form, whether they consider it a vehicle or a property, which we'll touch on later. There's no doubt that they would make you buy it. So I'm guessing it would be available on Warstock Cash and Carry or something like that. And who knows, probably just as a giant troll, Rockstar would make this thing $10 million or something like that. Number one, to eliminate how many people could actually buy it. But also, number two, just to be like a troll. It's the train, and I feel like Rockstar would make a super trolly price when it comes to that. So once you've purchased it, hypothetically, how would it work? Would it be like finders keepers, like the first person that gets to the train gets to drive it until they're shot out and then someone else pilots it? Or are there going to be multiple trains on the track? I'm not sure how that would work. Obviously, the train we're looking at right now has all like the attachments on the back. So I think that maybe Rockstar could start us off with just like the train driving part itself. And if you wanted to add on to it, you could. Just like how you can add upgrades to your offices, your biker clubhouses, your facilities. Maybe Rockstar would make it work that way, as funny as it sounds. Or they could maybe make it a property where you don't have any ability to drive the train. You would simply just be in one of the cargo things in the back, or you would just be along for the ride with no ability to adjust the speed. I think that if I were to pick one route that Rockstar would go, that would likely be the one, just because, like you're going to see many times throughout this video, the derailing of the trains, I don't know how they would get that to work, or even if they would even try to get that to work. I feel like that would just be one of the most confusing things that Rockstar could end up doing. But this was so much fun. I wanted to immediately get back to the train, and that's what I did. We took the train again, and this time I wanted to see how fast I could go. That was my objective. I had tried everything out at this point. You know, I had messed with all of the controls. So I think the top speed I got to was 87 miles per hour. And I knew at which point I derailed. It was right after this tunnel. So I started lowering my speed. We got into the low 70s, and that was enough to actually get me through to the other side. Now, I had to slow down a little bit here as we're going through sort of the Cluckenbell, Palito Bay area. But I wanted to see, like I said, just how fast I could go. And we had some nice straightaways here, which was pretty cool. And what's kind of funny is we ended up getting up to 88 miles per hour. So I was actually quick enough to push a DeLorean to get it to go back to the future. If you guys have seen the third Back to the Future movie, wouldn't it be epic to put a deluxe on the front of this and recreate that scene going 88 miles an hour? That would be super cool. But we weren't done there. We were actually able to get it up to 89 miles per hour without derailing, 90 miles per hour without derailing, and then finally 91 miles per hour before we hit a super sharp turn and ended up completely derailing this whole thing, crashing the train and blowing it up. So this was one of the most fun experiences I have had in GTA 5. This mod is so cool, but it also gives you a good idea of how the train could work as well in GTA 5. So do I think this is wacky? Yes. Do I think this is out of control? Absolutely. But I think that Rockstar, number one, has to know of like all the just craziness with the train in GTA 5, whether they're aware of all the YouTube videos that are, you know, how to stop a train, or people's obsession with just wanting to get on it and ride it. And they've also got to recognize the connection between this and the vehicles in Red Dead Redemption 2. Because let's be honest, if Rockstar is going to make a vehicle that is going to have some RDR2 resemblance, the train is really the only thing they could go for. They're not going to do like a stagecoach or a horse or anything like that, because they've got to make it modern enough for Los Santos. So the train is really the only thing I could see them adding. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think if something like this happened in GTA Online? And hopefully this video gave you a good idea of what it would be like to not only buy the train, own the train, but drive the train as well, and all of its cool features to go along with it. So if you want to do this for yourself, which I highly recommend you do if you have a PC, download this mod. It literally couldn't be any easier to install. All I did was drop 2 files into the game. I loaded into single player, I found the train, I held down the enter key, and I was in there. Like, it's the easiest thing ever. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comment section down below, and if you did, be sure to leave a like rating. That would be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, where you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.